also a sculptor and then a great art collector. So thanks a lot, Manish ji, for taking time out and joining us on this particular show. I know you have a show which is happening out there. It's been a hectic time, but yeah, thanks for taking time and joining here.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm going through the multiple shows, one actual, one virtual.
Okay.
And many thanks to the Sneha Arts for inviting me for this. This is precious. This is important. Many thanks to you, Ravi, also.
Thank you. Thank you, Manish ji. Manish ji, a lot of people know you, and they've seen your art, they've seen your shows. In one of the conversation with an eminent writer and poet, Mr. Ashok Vajpayee ji, you've discussed the role of an artist in today's time. So, according to you, what is the role of an artist in today's time?
Well, that's a very multi-layered question, and the answer is going to be equally multi-layered. We live in a society which is always plural. We live in a society which is multi-dimensional in itself by nature. We, as being an artist, can't be an ignorant individual. I didn't mean to say that we are the activists. I didn't mean to say that. But yes, we are the one who are involved in our chosen activity. And that is important. In fact, I think that in today's time, if we remain focused in our own activities, the whole tension of the world will disappear in one go. The problem is that when you encroach from your chosen activity to the other's chosen activity, when you encroach, that's the problem. The whole global system is going through that kind of encroachment. I remember one example by Ustad Bismillah Khan Sahab many years ago. In his one of the interview, when someone asked him that Ustadji, what do you think? What is the right solution to resolve this whole problem of the terrorism in the globe? So he said, एक शहनाई सबको दे दो जो अपने काम में डूब जाएगा तो फिर उसके पास कुछ और काम बचेगा कहाँ? That actually is I'm precisely trying to say from my time and from my point of view in my own words.
So true.
So we as being an artist, let's remain focused. It doesn't mean that we are going out of the social system. We are going away from the social system. No, it is very important. The social system and the civilization, they can't be separated because we don't believe in such civilization. That's why we sometimes go away from the system of it.
Got it.
Not from only from the artist. I'm talking also as a civilian. We are civilians, first of all. I'm artist. Next to me is a philosopher. Next to him is a scientist. It really doesn't matter. Let's not romanticize it. Let's remain focused with whatsoever the path you have chosen. Things will be fine and the world will be very beautiful.
So well said. So, Manish ji, I mean that's very insightful and very very deep conversation or thoughts that you've shared. So, friends who are watching this, we already have a few of the members who are joined in. If you have any compliments, if you have any questions for Manish ji while he is live with me, feel free to put it in the comments. I'll read that out and we'll ask Manish ji. So,
My pleasure.
Manish ji, you're popularly known for artist of light, okay, and you've given a lot of emphasis for light and the way it has impacted. So, any specific reason why you've given importance to light?
Because the history is full of darkness. I'm saying this from the two point of view. One is in Hindi there is a word avidhatmak or dusra vyanjanatmak. What I mean to say, one is factual and second is fictional. What I mean to say that actually when the light was not invented, so the history is dark. Secondly, that this darkness, even if you go chronologically, the way we understand the history through chronological process, there is a one point between AD and BC, which is undisclosed phase, even undiscovered phase. There is no rationale which has been established so far to decode that phase between the precise AD and the precise BC. In archaeological terms, they say it is a dark phase because still it is unrevealed. So this darkness is very, very important. Light. We are in a time with technology. It's a time of the artificial light. See, I am looking gray, but I am not gray. I have my own tone because of the light. So these lights are playing a interesting drama in and around us. If the light, something which is playing its game in us or within us, it is a different kind of light. And the light which is playing its trauma or offering its trauma, on our peripheries, on our circumlocution, on the externality of it, then it is a different kind of a light. So life is about it. Number two, we are scared of darkness. That's the human nature. The great people are looking for the enlightenment, and the normal people are looking for the enlightenment. I'm a very normal man. I am looking for the light. Even if it is coming from the external source, I don't mind. But I am waiting for a light from internal source. I'm one of the finest example of a painter which is failing on the deepest level of the creativity, and I'm enjoying it because I'm going through a realization of the darkness. But I want to realize it in the light of within, not the light of the external sources. So that's how light is important to me because I am not enlightened.
Wow, superb. So we have people guests joining us to watch this particular show. Ajay Samir ji is saying hello Manish ji.
Hi,
Subramanian
Ajay.
Subramanian Gopal Swami ji has joined. Nice to see you Manish.
Thank you, Gopal Swamiji.
Sundeep
Nice to see you.
Sumaindra is saying namaskar.
Namaskaram.
Deepak Kumar Ambuj is saying hello Manish bhai.
Hi, Deepak.
Devidas Khatri is saying namaskar sir.
Devidas. Namaskar.
Okay. Sneha ji is asking, Manish ji, when did you decide that you'll become an artist?
Sneha, this is a question of double two ages, and I'm going to an answer which is going to be equally double-edged answer. The romantic answer is that I wanted to become an artist from my childhood, probably when I was born. I decided immediately that I want to become an artist. And the fictional answer is that I don't know when I became artist.
Hmm.
I, I will elaborate it. The modern life is a good paradox which exists between the bipolarities of fiction and the fact. I'm a scientist. I mean, I'm a geologist, student of science, and I paint. So again, you can see I'm a wonderful living example of above said bipolarity disorder. I don't mind, having been coined or having been noun even by this identity. It's a great. I have seen some of people who are suffering of the disorder. They are the great human beings. So coming to the point, uh, there is no straight fixed answer as such. I always say in my introduction that I am not uh, an artist which is coming out of the conventional education system. When you go to the art college, you go to the proper education system, you get the gradual exposure towards the art scene, and then finally become an artist. No, I am not. I am not academically approved artist in that sense. I am not शिक्षित. I am a दीक्षित. भारतीय परंपरा में शब्द हैं तो ये बड़े सुंदर शिक्षित और दीक्षित. So I am a दीक्षित one. I am a result of an art institution which is known as Bharat Bhavan, which came in existence in Bhopal, the place where I'm born and brought up. And I can't imagine my being in the absence of that institution. So I'm more a result or probably the side effect of the institution which is known as Bharat Bhavan. And so uh, You can also take me as a nuclear or the molecule of a society which get affected when such institution emerges in the society. In history, we have many examples, but in modern history, Bharat Bhavan is a unique example, which has ignited my being and which has not only forced me, but also collected my scattered being into a kind of undisputed, unsplitted attention, which allowed me to decide that let's paint, even though if you don't belong to an academic system, I belong to an institutional process. So that's how I become art. Story is very long, but I have shared the genesis and the seed of the story.
So, thank you. Manishi, GN Rachna is saying hello, sir.
Hi, Rachna.
Okay. So the next question is there was a book on your art. Okay, it is called a book on Pushkale's art, Manish, and the Painter of the Light, which was released by Mr. Mohan Kumar,
Yeah,
Indian ambassador in France,
yes,
in September.
France.
Eminent
Correct.
writers, critics, artists like Ashok Vajpayee ji, Syed Haider Raza, Zach Dupin, all of them have contributed to the book. And
Actually, you
anything you
remember all the name? Jacques Dupin. You're talking of the name of Jacques Dupin. That's a very important name. No one knows. We are living in a time when people knows only the popular names. There is the difference between the popular and famous is so well shrinked. So I'm happy. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you, but I just wanted to celebrate what you have noticed. Great.
so anything you want to talk about the book? How was the journey? Uh, when did you decide that you'll take time out of this and give some time for this particular book?
Yes, this book is books are always important, and uh, so henceforth this book is also important because it is also a documentation of one's journey. And slowly, this is good that uh, the art galleries are taking their interest, showing their interest in the right way of the documentation of an artist. So that's important in the long term process. But as you mentioned that people like Ashok Vajpayee or Raza Saab or Jacques Dupin or Krishna Baldev Vaid or Om Thanvi, these are the names which have who has contributed in this book. These are the people who are coming from the different fields, from the different streams of the life, and they are talking on a painter. This is not a book written by a hardcore art critic on a hardcore painter. My core is not hard. And reason why the society around me is not a society of the hardcores. They are for sure, they are sure a people of the infinite shores, but they are not a people of the hardcores. It is very interesting when a poet is taking his take on your painting. When a journalist like Dilip Padgaonkar, who wrote on me, or a journalist like Om Thanvi, who wrote on me, taking their own take. When a writer like Krishna Baldev Vaid and Ashok Vajpayee, one is a great poet, second is a great fiction writer, when they are taking their own take through your art, it is very interesting. I am not based on a plane of a singular dimensionality. As I said in the beginning, that I am a result of an art institution, not an art college. I belong to a place, Bhopal, which which has given me uh, this great institution, Bharat Bhavan. Bharat Bhavan, which is an institution of the arts in its totality. It was a holistic exposure. I got the lessons from Bharat Bhavan from the process of teaching without teaching. If you want to learn, learn. Teaching is an air. If you want to ignore, ignore. Teaching still will prevail. I am a good learner, I think. I have a doubt. But let me be optimistic with myself. I think I am a good learner. Dissents are welcome.
Good one. Uh, so, friends who have not watched Manish ji's art and his journey, I have a short video of his art collection and his journey. So here we go. Wow, that's a wonderful journey, Manish ji. Nice to
Thank you.
see all your paintings together and the journey which you had with your friends and a lot of co-artists, people who have done remarkable work in the industry. So we have another question from Sneha ji. Manish ji, describe a real life situation that inspired you.
Sneha, uh, life is full of inspiration. Actually, there is no virtual life. There is only real life. Though uh, the world is trapped in between real and virtual life, but the fact of the fact is that the real essence is existing on its reality, not in its virtuality. The painting which I do is not a virtual painting; it's a real painting. The struggle which I go through in painting is a real struggle, not a virtual struggle. You can understand it. So, life is full of it. What you say? In fact, I prefer if you put, you know, the question next to it to open it more. Because if I start, I may go here and there. Many ways to. Stephen Wallace said it once that 13 ways of looking at a blackbird. So I can speak on it from the 13 ways. Which way you want me you to speak?
So true. So Shrikant Kadam is saying hello, Manish, with a
Shrikant,
rose.
क्या हालचाल है दोस्त मेरे?
He's got a
He's
rose
a
for
very
you,
good
red
speaker.
rose for you.
Oh, thank you. He's a very good speaker.
Sushil Patel saying thanks Sneha Arts for this good work for new artists. I think there are a lot of new artists are getting to watch and learn from eminent artists, and they're also getting a chance to ask questions what they have, and
That's
directly,
important.
that's
Yes,
yeah. So
I
Deepak,
enjoy the interaction. That's very, very important.
thank you for taking time out for these questions, Manishji. Deepak Kumar Ambuj is asking, what is the reason most of the artists are from MP? Or especially from Bharat Bhavan doing only abstract. Is it parampara or some reason behind it? And second question is that have you ever tried figures in your painting? Yeah, these are two questions. First
What
question is there a parampara that everybody is from Bharat Bhavan
that
or?
I got? What's the name of the person who is asking?
Yeah, this is Deepak Kumar Ambuj.
Hi, Deepak. It's a very important question. I am very glad you asked me. And this question is now coming in existence very often. Recently, I have given a very separate interview which is focused only on this inquiry. And I will say that there is no one answer to that, but let's understand together the circumstances and the situation and the of the place from this whole kind of abstraction is coming out. That's very true that 90% of the artists who are coming from Bhopal, they work in abstract, which is very true. And as I said that I am a result of an art institution, it also means that I also said that I am one of the molecules. I'm one of the matter, smallest particle of that society, but of that society. All these people who are coming, let me also tell you that all those people who are coming to Bhopal, they are not only from Bhopal. Bhopal become a kind of a favorite spot where one can work with in a congenial atmosphere with the great energy. I remember people from Maharashtra, people from Andhra Pradesh, people from Tamil Nadu, people from Assam, people from UP, Delhi. They all came to Bhopal. Why? Because there was a kind of a congeniality, there was a kind of a organized mannerist system, a beautiful institution which is very beautifully designed, an ambience, an atmosphere, and a freedom. I think that really has helped a lot. If you say that Bhopal is producing only abstract painters, then you should also add a alternative inquiry within this inquiry that the Bharat Bhavan, the contemporary collection of Bharat Bhavan, is not a collection of only abstract painting. It is a collection of the good paintings of the 80s. A Bharat Bhavan came in existence in 1982. The best of the contemporary art of that whole period is there, right from Bhupen Khakkar to M.F. Hussain, right from Gaitonde, right from Ram Kumar to Gaitonde, you name, right from Ghulam Muhammad Sheikh to V. Ramesh, it's there. So you name, it's not that. What is that? Even after, I can I can take my own case study to understand this, and I can say that I am born. I'm I have lived my life, the formative period of my life, which is a very important part of my life, in the gallery of in these galleries of Bharat Bhavan, which is known as Rupankar. On the one side, there is a gallery which is a gallery of like you and me, the urban artist. On the other side is a gallery of the Gond and the tribal artists. But they coexist together. They exist parallelly with their coexistence. So, have you ever seen this kind of interaction with the prevailing discriminations in the society? The conclusion of the discrimination is what? Have you ever seen this kind of paradox in the society where the galleries are full of the best of the figurative painting? How you'll see the painting of Arpita Singh, say, for example, or how you'll see the painting of uh, Bhuven Khakkar, say, for example, the two figurative paintings, but at the same time, a painting of Raza is there, a painting of Gaitonde is there, with great respect, with the equal respect in the man. There is no discrimination. This is a very different kind of an exposure. It is a very different kind of an exposure. And I'm very happy. Yet, yes, your question, the basic question about why most of the artists from Bhopal are abstract. I have another take, apart of the take from the galleries of the Bharat Bhavan. See the locality of a Bhopal. Try to understand the locale of a Bhopal. Bhopal is existing on the equidistance. On the left to it, on the 40 kilometer is Bhimbetka, which is the heritage, world heritage site of the prehistoric art. On the other side, on the 40 kilometer is Sanchi, that is the historic site of the Buddhist time. What the modernity of Bhopal means, which is surrounded by the history and prehistory. It has to be different from rest of the places because this unique feature is not existing with any other place, not only in the country but also in the world. If Bhopal is producing abstract, it is a great case. I want to understand. I am from Bhopal and I am an abstract painter. I really want to understand in a very analytical manner, in a very scientific manner. This is a time to understand the aesthetics in a logical, scientific manner before uh, before coming to any conclusion. So yes, this is a great observation that there is something in the air of the Bhopal, but people like Devlalikar, people like Bendre, people like Hussain, they all are from Madhya Pradesh. People like Chandresh Saxena. I'm giving you the name of all these important painters from their different time. None of them is figurative. Hey, none of them is abstract. I'm sorry. They all dealt with the figurative.
Yeah.
This emergence of abstraction is a result after Bharat. It is a very interesting case study to understand your own geography pre and post Bharat Bhavan. See, I'm not going to give you an answer. In fact, I'm going to intense your question. So I have intensed it.
Good. So the second part of the question is, have you ever tried figures in your paintings?
Yes, if you see the my paintings of early years, in fact, if you see the works of up to 1999, they are figurative. And this is a very strange cliche between abstraction and figuration. In Bharat Bhavan, what I have learned, and with the within the conversations with one of the few of my friends and the people, in fact, the person like Akhilesh, my dear friend, and I really admire him. He has really has given me courage in the moments when it is really required. We never spoke. We never ever spoke. In this cliched, discriminated uh, terms. Good painting is good painting, and something which is not painting is not a painting. As simple as that. This is a very strange debate which has been created in a recent time about abstraction is like a descent of the figuration. No, it's not like that. I don't think so. When I see the painting of Arpita Singh, as I said earlier also, I see the approach of abstraction. Why we keep ourselves only up to the contours of our physiology, contours of our body. Let's come close to it. Let's enter into it. I remember one interview of Akbar Padamsi many years back. I think it was okay. I don't even remember. He said that this is a hand. If you see the contours, it is a hand. But if you go into the microscopic inspection of it, it will become an abstraction. What I mean to say, though I have my own takes on this logic of Akbar Padamsi, I have my own questions on it. But I'm sharing this example of Akbar Padamsi for the sake to understand Arpita being that don't see only the figure, also see the approach through which she is painting the figure. And that approach is not an approach of like creating something which is very realistic. It is an approach about achieving the essence of the figure. When you're talking of essence, you really can't have it or hold it without having the sensibility of the abstraction.
Got it. So thank you, Deepak, for this awesome question. I also got to learn about Bhopal, about Bharat Bhavan, and how so many artists came from this particular institution.
No, I think Ravi, it's very important to talk on Bharat Bhavan because uh, before independence, Shantiniketan,
Mhm.
and after independence, Bharat Bhavan, and during independence, Progressive Artist Group. This is a very interesting history of the contemporary or the contemporary in the modern India. You really cannot understand the century, the 20th, most important 20th century. We got our political identity and the political individuality in this century. We cannot understand the politics of our time without understanding the culture of its time.
Got it.
I just added.
So, Renu Huda is saying, well said, Manishji. I mean, this is the answer for the previous question. Sneha
Thank
ji is asking, please tell about your background and what's your strongest memory from your childhood.
my strongest memory from my childhood. There are many memories. Childhood is the only stage of the life when you are most receptive. And the childhood memories can't be one. There are multiple memories. We are full of memories. The problem is the when we grow slowly, the capacity to hold the memory shrinks,
Okay.
and we come towards the actuality. This is that's how with the growth we really become poor, at least in the context of the memory. I have innumerable memories of my childhood. I'm born and brought up in Bhopal in a very middle class, normal family. Nothing ordinary, nothing extraordinary as such. But uh, actually, it was a childhood of a great loneliness. We were two brothers. My elder brother been to for his schooling to Sunday school. I was the one at home, and somehow it was very much about the loneliness. And I think that my whole uh, the very acute formative years of my life has gone on the extremities of the loneliness. My both the parents were the working parents. I love and respect them a lot for that. But this loneliness remained unanswered, I think. And that came with the different kind of fruits in my life. And this art or the urge to create something, the first bud emerged in that loneliness. So it is not a bitter memory. It's a very precious, beautiful memory. So that's it. What to say more on it?
Manishji, M. Narayan, artist, he's saying Manish is something very different from other artists. His way of thinking in his words and his thoughts, way of working entirely wonderful. And his thoughts, way of working is entirely wonderful. How are you, Manish ji? We worked together in one camp in Tadobo. Okay,
Tadoba.
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 Tadoba. You gave me a few tips and it's really great. Thank you so much for Sneha Arts brought him in this particular show. So that's M.
Yeah,
Narayan.
hi. Tadoba, of course, is a sweet. Yeah. Hi, Nan. Tadoba is really a great memory. I remember you very well, and I often remember you and looking for many more moments with you very soon. And thank you very much. I mean, what to say? You are appreciating, but I just I speak by heart, यार. What to say? जो मन में आता है बोलता रहता हूँ. दुनिया पागल बोले. I paint and I speak whatever I have to say. There, I find few people sometimes who are really very keen and interested in hearing me. I find sometimes very few people who are very keen and interested in what I've painted. This is what my society is. And that's absolutely all right. Struggling to make it bigger.
Thank you, Narayanji. Any special moments from that trip, that camp in Tadoba? Anything apart from art?
Oh yes, uh, it was a very interesting camp which has Tadoba is a very known wild sanctuary in Maharashtra in Vidarbha, and that camp was very interesting. We all stayed in a kind of a what do you call it the tents within the sanctuary, going for the wildlife, being with the artists. This camp was organized by one of the very important politician. He was a member of parliament, also the publisher of Lokmat, Mr. Vijay Darda. Very sensitive person who really, respect art and artists and try to promote them in his own manner. His philanthropy is absolutely out of any question. So Tadoba is very interesting. I mean, it was a big camp, many artists all together going for jungle safari and coming back to. I'm a nature lover, so I love it. So I have a very special memory because of the sanctuary there, the wildlife there.
Super. Thank you, Manish, for sharing this journey over there. So Rajan Shripad Fulari, he's saying, sorry to
Yes.
join late, dear, but pleasure listening to you. And M. Narayanji बोल रहे हैं wonderful talk.
राजन देर आए पर दुरुस्त आए. हमारा पुराना यार है.
My God. Atul M. Panase is saying, interviewer and the artist both are bringing awesome stories. Thanks to both of you. Thank you, Atul ji. It is so nostalgic to see you, Manish ji, and hear about Bharat Bhavan. A dream place for me to attend at least one event.
Come, who is saying this?
This is Atul M. Panase.
Hi Atul. Come on, make it real. Convert your dreams into the reality. Reaching to Bharat Bhavan or to Bhopal is not that easy. It's not that tough. Come anytime. Hopefully see you soon. Let's see.
Vidya Vivek is saying, Manish ji, you are read that you're a trained geologist. Has it somewhere influenced you in the choice of colors? All earth shades.
Yes, Vidya, that's very true. And I'm really now. Once upon a time, I had deep regrets about that. Why didn't we do the conventional academic system to understand and to learn art and arts process? But I've been to science, and today I find it very interesting uh, that this was really the great decision. Though it was not the my decision, I was forced, but that's absolutely all right. But I think that turned out to be very important. Let me add to what you're saying. Why geology is important to me? The world we see. We are the painters. We see, we paint, and it's a visual art. Seeing is a very important, remain in the focus, in the center of the attention. But the way we see the world which is existing above the horizon, and that's what we have painted so far. The whole history of painting is about depicting the world which is existing above the horizon. As being a geologist or as being a sensibility towards the geology and the archaeology, that has really given me a reason and a rational and a logic and a force from inside to query the world which exists below the horizon. And believe me, the civility or the civilization which we see above the horizon and the traces of the civilization which we excavate below the horizon are two different kind of experiences. It is amazing. That's why I get a lot of food for thought, resources to think, and forces to act from the agencies which exist below the horizon. To me, my landscape is below the horizon. I'm slightly understated person because my everything is below the horizon. The notion of the growth, the notion of the modernity, the notion of the progress, everything goes against the horizon because we take the heights very seriously. The more you go against the horizon, more you are considered to be heightened, and the more you are going below the horizon, more you are considered as a darkened. I don't mind. I prefer to be darkened rather than heightened because the traces, the memory, and the elements of my civilization are in the dark.
True. So true. So yeah, राजन श्रीपद फुलारी जी बोल रहे हैं वेरी ट्रू इट्स भारत भवन द सोर्स ऑफ आर्टिस्ट जर्नी it's it all natural artist community across society. And there's another question from Sneha ji. Is there an element of art you enjoy working with most and why?
Which element of art she's saying?
Yeah, is there any element of art that you enjoy working with the most and why?
Oh, Sneha, I enjoy each and every aspect. My current show is a show where there are some drawings, there are some paintings. So, drawing is made up of its own elements. The paintings are made up of their own elements. And I'm a very poor person who can't still imagine the three-dimensionality of my thought process. So I'm working on maybe one. No. So there are many elements. There's not a one element. The colors are there, the textures are there, but these are the constituents of the painting. Everything is playing their own important role. They come and then go. So there is not one element as such. If you want to understand it in the oneness, then it is art, which is comprised of the multiple of elements, right from tangible to the intangible, from thought to the material.
Thank you, Maniji. And yeah, we have some more questions and compliments and comments coming in. So before I go through that, do you want to talk about the show which is happening right now, where
Oh
you're
yes,
engaged?
yes. Right now, I have my show which is going on here in Delhi in Triveni Sangam at Sridharani Space of Triveni Sangam. And the title of the show is Tracing the Cartographer's Trail. Um, uh, this is conceived and designed, composed by Ranjit Hoskote, who is uh, uh, the man behind it, behind the theory of it, and I am the man behind the process of it. And Gallery Akar Prakar is the agency which is behind the execution of it. So good things happen when people come on their back, of the responsibility. They take their responsibility. Something collectively very interesting thing happens. Right now, this show is a talk of the town. The people, I'm very happy that people are talking. Innumerable number of visitors are coming, and the kind of a response which I got on this absolutely new way of my expression, the way it has been welcomed, it is really encouraging, and that has really given me uh, uh, a very precious conclusion that if you come with something new, people still welcome it, because it often says that don't cast your tie, don't break your caste, you know. And this is my 25th solo show. So in a city from where I started my career, so this is a very precious show, but the kind of applause, kind of the appreciation, kind of admiration which I'm feeling, receiving, and facing through this show is something which is making me more humble, in fact, And also, I have created the new periphery of different height as a challenge for myself. I'm enjoying it, and a lot of new things happened. A lot of new things happened with accommodating what the prevailing was there. So this is not a shocking show, as like something which I'm known for is no more there. In fact, what is shocking is to others that that prevailing is still in the continuum, and there is no descent, or there is no struggle between the new or with the new. That is something. So that the the comfort which has come on the level of the aesthetic from this work is actually shocking, surprising, and eye opener to many. It is good. It is really. I am very humbled. I am very thankful to all those people who are coming to this show. I am also thankful to those who came and then they revisited the show, because they said that one first visit is not enough. Let me add more to it. There are few people who are coming again and again, thrice, fourth time, fifth time, and they said still there is something which they missed to see. This is making me something. I'm not romanticizing it. I'm really humble. I'm really struggling, and I'm working very hard. Uh, let's see what happened. What will happen? I don't know. I have no answer to it. But I just want to say one thing, that I'm working hard, and with best of my sincerity, which I've got from my gurus, which I've got from my institution, which I've got from my friends in Bhopal, and which I've got from my Bharat Bhavan. This is my temple.
Super.
There is no shortcut. We have to work hard, and we have to take our life very seriously. And once you're an artist, then this notion of seriousness has to be different than the notion of seriousness in something else. So I'm trying my best, but happy with this show in all aspects of its existence.
All the best, Manish ji. Wish you great success with this show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we having comment from Ravinder Sharma. Pleasure listening to you, your journey and your creative life, dear Dinesh. With another rose. So a lot of red roses coming in. Chandana Bhattacharya ji saying pleasure to hear your words, deep thoughts. This is from Chandana.
Thank you, Channa.
Lakshman Hale is saying hi Manish.
Hi, Lakshman. He is the one who flew from Hyderabad to came to my show.
Oh wow, Lakshman, hope you come back with one of his masterpieces in Hyderabad and have it here. Niladri
I'll.
Paulji has joined. Being alone by oneself is
Hi,
what inspires art.
sorry?
नीलाद्री पॉल जी बोल रहे हैं बीइंग अलोन बाय oneself is what inspires art.
Yeah, that's a statement. That's not a question. Yes, agree with you, Niladri.
Yeah. उत्तम मल्लिक जी बोल रहे हैं हाय. Atul M. Panse is saying I'm also from MP now in Chandigarh but live in Dubai. Okay. Lakshman is saying
Okay.
let's
Bigger but live in Dubai.
yeah. Let's know about your literature part apart from your art. This is from Lakshman, who is from Hyderabad.
Lakshman. Yes. Thank you, Lakshman. Yes.
Yeah. So he wants to know about your literature apart from your art.
Oh, yes. Because he asked this question because he's and yes, literature is another thing. Again, the root towards roof of my the root of my sensibility towards the literature is again it goes to the horizon of Bharat Bhavan because there is a Vagar, the writers, painters, dancers, musicians, theater people, they all are together under one roof. So, and uh, because I think that because I never been to any art school, so the urge to read and to learn is very different than a student which goes in its conventional process in the conventional manner to a school. I'm still very hungry from that point of view. And I'm still very jealous with the people who go to art school because I see myself there. I just, that's a very romantic part of the journey. It's a beautiful part of the journey when you go through the system, people who are working. But yes, exposure towards literature has really helped me a lot. It helped me a lot up to the extent that I not only become a average reader, but also become an average writer. I wrote a novel which is known as Aage Jo Piche Tha, the front which was on the back once upon a time, published by Bharatiya Gyanpeeth. Then before that, I wrote another book in which I was in conversation with Piyush Daya, who was one of the very fine editor and a writer and a poet, very sensitive person. It was a book of the conversation between the two. And at the in the last, while when we were composing the book for the print, he said, "Let me remove my questions. Let you answer remain." Oh, beautiful. So that is known as Safed Sakhi. Then this insect of writing got graduated. And then I got the chances to write in newspapers. Then I started writing my daily columns, which I've stopped from last 1.5 years. I'm unable to write because I was working. I was painting, in fact, and somehow I don't have that talent to handle the word and image with the same equality without any partiality at the same time. I don't have that, that wildness and the widerness. So somehow my writing is slightly retarded for a while, but it is not aborted. I I'm reading still, but I'm unable to write too much. Another reason to write is that if you go through my novel, it is a very abstract in its approach. I really can't narrate without without having someone who has gone through it. Otherwise, it's really going to be a one-sided narration. It will not become a conversation. So it is also very difficult to translate in other languages. Someone who understands Hindi and or someone who is really keen and sincere about its translation only can. पागलपन में लिखा था वो जो पागल होगा वही उसको translate कर पाएगा. Otherwise, it's not possible with both of my books. I wrote the articles in Lokmat and Prabhat Khabar and here and there. So I have compiled all those articles, and that is the third book. It's a small essay, big essay. So it's okay. Yes, I take the language very seriously, and I still find myself so small and so insufficient in front of, because I think that something which is narratable should be narrated by words, and something which cannot be, which is not narratable, then I paint it. That's why my paintings are abstract.
Got it. Thank you.
Lakshman, my friend, for you.
So I hope you got the answer, Lakshman. So the next question is, this is a compliment from Mr. Prabhakar Ahobilam. He's saying wonderful interview.
Thank you, Prabhakar. Thanks to Ravi for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Deepak Kumar Amboj has another question. Manish bhai, Bharat Bhavan is a cultural heritage of India as well as world. So when and what is the reason that you decided to go somewhere else from? And if you want to share, then please.
दीपक भाई भवन से ही गए, भारत से थोड़ी ना गए. और I am not at all far away from Bharat Bhavan. You can see it is existing everywhere in me. The blood in me is Bharat Bhavan. I go very often. My parents still live there. I go very often. That's absolutely all right. It's not that. The energy and the light which we got from Bharat Bhavan, the foundation which we got from Bharat Bhavan, important is that I have not forgotten it, and I owe my each and everything to this outstanding sample of contemporary Indian art.
Good. Yusuf sir
This is the
has joined.
ashram of modern time. Bharat Bhavan is like an ashram of our modern time. It is one of the latest example of the ashram system in the modern society.
True.
No less than that to me.
Yusuf sir has joined from Bhopal. He's saying nice.
Yusuf bhai, namaste.
Yeah, talking about Bhopal, sir सही time पे join हुए. Yajesh Kumar is saying hi Ji, and Prem Singh Sikawar is saying namaskar. Manish Manish bhai, show बहुत ही जबरदस्त. So show बहुत ही जबरदस्त. You know, anybody writes in Hindi, I take a while to read. कनु पटेल जी पूछ रहे हैं, वाह क्या बात है.
कनु जी नमस्कार.
उत्तम मल्लिक जी पूछ रहे हैं, मनीष जी हम आपसे इंटरनेशनल आर्ट फेस्टिवल 2019 भारत भवन भोपाल में मिले थे. So this is Uttam Malik ji for you.
जी.
Yeah, Lakshman is very happy that you answered his question. He's saying, well said, Manish. Yeah.
Has asked a very important question. It's my responsibility to answer, my friend. Even if I
otherwise we
answer,
wouldn't have.
They will not mind. After friendship is friendship. So.
Yeah, but truly good question, Lakshman, because otherwise we wouldn't have known the the writer side of Manish ji. So Mehdi Shah is saying hi, and Anup Sharma is saying very nice. And
hi, Anup.
Yeah, we are almost close to 1 hour now, and so yeah. My last question is about your strokes, your shading, your multi-layer, your motifs. What I mean, and you have linked everything to, you've got some mythology involved. You have a strategy involved. So, can you talk a bit about your art form?
See, this mythology or the rest of the other theories, they are of no use actually, that we are studying. The process of the painting itself is enough in itself. Rest are the icing on the cake to make the flavor. I really don't care what the mythology or what the subject or what the ideology or what the title which I'm imposing on the painting. I'm really very keen on the process of the painting, on the organic of it, on the approach. So sometimes I cook it very well. I think I'm a very good storyteller. Let me confess it, and I'm proud of it, which allows me to become a writer also. Up to extent that I wrote a novel. Many more novels are on the way. The society is going to, suffer a lot. I'm telling you. Yeah, 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 yeah. And something, as I said previously, that something which is narratable, I write it, and something which can't be captured in words, then I paint it.
Super.
As simple as that. So rest is fine. I can narrate one painting in five different times and five different manner to five different people. That's the play of the language, and that's the beauty of a work which allows the five alternative ways to see it. We need that society. We are coming to a time when there is a one meaning to a one painting. Though we belong to the civilization where there were the parallel meanings, multiple meanings to the one way of seeing. We are slowly shrinking. We are slowly coming to a monolithic understanding. We are coming to the one way zone, one way traffic. Everything is coming, becoming very singular and linear. That's a matter of worry. Those who understand me will appreciate that I can explain the work in five different ways because we still can see the word from 13 point of view, as Stephen Wallace said before, that there's a 13 ways of looking at a black bird. Let's not let's not reduce the art to its singular reality.
Got it. Got it, Manishi. So Manishi, between the first show and the current show, your solo show, shows, what is the difference you've seen? वो कैसा था your पहला show जो which was very important for you versus like this is what
Uh,
25th you mentioned 25th solo show.
the Yeah, it is the 25th. The first solo show, of course, uh, I am more experienced, but yet the anxiety before the show is still remaining. That really made me happy. I really don't want to be confident. The problem with me is that I'm a very confident person day by day, and that's not good. That self doubt, that anxiety, that reservation, that preservation is so important. Everything is shrinking. These are my personal challenges, and I don't mind in sharing all those things with everyone. Everyone is they they all are friends, so it's okay. But this time, I was not confident because what I've painted this time is something which was a question against the confidence, which was a question against the painting through which you gain your confidence. This was something. It was the beginning of new. I was really in anxiety. I was really in a kind of the key points, how the people will take, what the uh, you know the response is going to be. I'm not talking of it in commercial sense, but I'm more interested in the aesthetics of it. But the kind of response which I got in the series, it is really overwhelming. So I can say the way I was overwhelmed in my first show and the way I'm in my overwhelming present, there is actually not too much of difference. But the painting from first show to this 25th show, there is a huge difference. And this paradox is known as the life of an artist.
Superb. Superb. So Rabin Bar is saying what is really very good and responsible so for us our social media. I'm so happy to join with you. Thank you, Manishji. Myself from Assam. So this is
Hi.
Rabin Bar. And Deepak Kumar Ramboje is, thanking you. Great talk with you, Manish Bhai. Thanks a lot because he is the one who asked a lot of questions, right questions. Thank you, Deepak. So nice of you. So Yeah, that's all the questions we had, Manishji. Thanks a lot for joining
Right?
us, taking time out of it. It is not easy to do, organize the show, and it's like pre-organization show ke baad, and after that you've taken time for this particular event. And I would like to thank Sneha ji also, where because of her I could got a chance to talk to eminent artists like you.
Big thanks to Sneha. Big thanks to Sneha for this great initiative. And she is coming up with some great more, uh, features. I just got to know, and I'm very happy. We need many more people like this. We belong to a very strange country. It is a huge country where every state is like a one European country. And let's not forget that this is also a country which is having no cultural policy in the last 70 so many years of the independence, 74 something. And the responsibility of being an artist is very different. So we need many individuals like Sneha who are interested in the philanthropy, who are interested in participating uh, in the civil process as being a civil citizen. You know, so this is very important, and I'm very thankful to Sneha and also to Dr. Prasad for thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, friends, for watching us, and also for those awesome questions, compliments, and comments. During this particular show. So keep watching. I've received a lot of feedback from a lot of people, especially the budding artists, the students who are doing BFA and MFA who are watching this particular show. So feel free to connect, and we are also feeling very glad that you're able to connect with eminent artists through this particular platform. So thanks a lot, friends. Have a great evening. Thank you, Manishi. Namaskar.
Thank you much. Shukriya.